In this video, we are going over how you import a PSPA and build your panel or portrait pages using Yearbook Fusion desktop software without remote storage. To begin, you will need to open your panel hover. To do that, you go to your upper left corner and you should have a panel button here. If you don't, just to the right is 3 horizontal lines, which is a menu icon. You can click on that and place a check mark beside the panel option. As you can see, our panel button is now available. It opens the hover, and if you do not see the Add Yearbook panel, just make sure you click on the Advanced button. Then you can click on the Add Yearbook panel button, and a file browser will open. These are your computer files. Browse and locate the index file for the PSPA CD. Here you can review your index information. Make sure the data listed below the column headers match the headers. If you need to change a column header, you simply right-click and pick the correct one. When everything is correct, you can go ahead and hit import. This will browse and create a temporary folder to store the images, so you can hit OK. And it will begin the import process. This time may vary depending on the size of the index file. Mine is approximately 350 records. As you can see, I got an error message here stating 32 individuals are not part of a department. The images have been placed in bucket 4. Use the Make Into to correct this problem. Some of the panel presets require the information to function correctly. So it's just more of an FYI warning, so I can hit OK, and the import will complete. Once you hit OK, you'll automatically be redirected to our Portraits tab, which is where the now imported PSPA file will be housed. Across the top here, there's several tabs. The Portraits tab is the main database. Then you have your buckets. These buckets get filled with images that are missing information. So as you can see, bucket 4 is labeled Missing Department. So I'm going to click that and look at my records. So here's the Make Into field that the warning mentioned. So I'm actually going to click on my first student, use my Shift key and click on the last student. And then over on the right, you'll see that department has nothing in it. So when I go to the Make Into and select Student, you will see that Students is now thrown into the department field. I will do the same for my teachers here, but this time select Teacher. If you need to select images that are not side by side, you can use your Control key to select them. Once you've fixed everything in the bucket, you can select the Revalidate button, and it will quickly run through the database to make sure everything's okay. And as you can see, bucket 4 has now been emptied. So I'll click the Portraits tab. If you need to make any corrections to a student, it is done on our Portraits tab. On the left here, these are filters so that you can click Show Only and then filter out certain groups if you're trying to locate a group or a person. Once you've located the person you need to change, you can click on their record, and then on the right hand side is where you change their information. Once you've made a change in the attributes, it is automatically saved. Now to actually do your panel or portrait pages, we'll go back to the Editor tab. As you can see, we have a blank grid so far. So from here, you can either use the Simple mode and complete panel set. There's several pre-designed options to choose from. Or you can go to Advanced. On the Advanced, you have a couple options. We could say Show Only and go to our groups and say Staff Pages. This is how we can just get a small group to display in a portrait page. I'm going to add a blank page and do another set. So I'll go Add Yearbook Panel. This time I'm going to do the entire school, so I'm going to say Show Only, but I want it grouped by teacher, which means all the students are going to appear in groups based on what information they have in their teacher attribute. So I'll click there and go to Teacher. But I want all the pages in the order by grade, so we go 1 and up. So I'll change Sort By to Grade. Then I'll click Apply. If you need multiple pages to accommodate all the portraits, the pages will automatically be created. I'll bring up my pages hover here, and as you can see, we have many pages. And they all have a blue line under them, which indicates they're part of the same set of panels. Now to make changes, I can go to the Grid tab, and this is where you can change some of your layouts. You can change the rows and columns. You can make a featured image, which takes the first image and makes it stand out. You can put auto knockouts on. By putting a check mark in the automatic knockouts option, what it means is when you place an image or a piece of clip art, all the portraits will move around it. Here is also where you can adjust the border on all the images, the effects on the image, so if you wanted to make them black and white, you would just click on the black and white slider and change them all. And then the shadow options as well. The Labels tab is where you can make changes to the names below the images. So change the font type, Appearance tab will change the color, and the shadow options. If you want to make changes to one teacher at a time, there's this field here that says Apply Settings to this set of groups. So everything I do right now is affecting all the pages. If I wanted to just make a change to this one class, I can select the class from the list, and I'll change the image borders. So I've made them blue. So now if I go to another class, you can see they're still white. So by changing the Apply All Settings to allows you to make changes to individual classes. The header can be changed by going to the Header tab, and you can use these to turn it completely off or make it so that the header is just displayed on the first page but not the second page of the class. Or you can make it so that it is displayed on both pages for the class. The header font section, this window here, as you can see, it has some information. This is what we call a tag. This tag is pulled from the database, and a tag always begins and ends with a %sign. So here you can use more tags or just type to create your header. So what I'm going to do is a combination of using additional tags and typing. So I'm going to get our salutation tag by clicking on the tags button. Use your custom tags, school, and then salutation. And it's in the wrong order, so I am going to cut and paste. And then I'm going to add some text, and then I'll go get our next tag. And then I'll add a bit more text. And if I flip to another page, you'll see that the header has been created in the same format. It's just displaying the different information based on the database. So that is a quick look at how you can import the PSPA and create panel pages in Yearbook Fusion desktop software without remote storage.